following is a presentation of KNOX Sports.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, or evening, depending upon how you take a look at it tonight. We welcome you back to Thompson Baseball Field in our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. And tonight, we find ourselves in Thompson for League Baseball. Each of these teams have played in the league the last couple of nights, and they'll be likely finishing things up for the 4th of July break. Obviously, the holiday coming up on Friday. Most of the American Legion baseball teams out there will take a break over Independence Day. We want to wish each and every one of you a happy Independence Day coming up for the Friday and the weekend, and we'll be back with some more baseball coming up next week. Tonight, Thompson and Gardner will do battle in the final league games before we go into the break, and there will be just a couple of weeks of American Legion baseball left of the regular season anyway when we come back after the 4th of July holiday. So every league game is important at this point. Thompson, just 3 league games played so far, and they're off to a 3-0 start in the league, but they've got the smaller sample size. Whereas Gardner, the Northern Cass team, or at least most of us would consider them to be the Northern Cass team that was in the state high school baseball tournament, but everything isn't as it always seems when it comes down to the crossover between high school baseball and Legion baseball. Northern Cass has a couple of players that play in West Fargo, and that combined with some injuries have put the Express into a situation where they haven't had as much luck this year as they want to. They lost their first 5 games inside the league, but they may be trying to build some momentum. Last night they picked up a tight 2-1 win over Hatton Northwood, who is also a pretty good team inside this district, and so they're trying to build on some momentum coming into Thompson tonight to take on the front runners, who the last we saw them struggled with Grafton, losing a matchup by a final score of 3-1 and struggling to score in that matchup all the way through. Grafton coming up with a couple of extra runs late to kind of push that one out to distance, and that was a tough blow for Thompson that night, losing at home, but they've come back with a win last night in a tight ball game over Hillsborough Central Valley to get their 3rd district win of the season. We bring it to you courtesy of our premier sports partners. They include Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. Grand Trailer Sales has you absolutely covered when it's time to get what you need for service on your trailer, or it's time to move up to take up that new trailer for work or for fun. Grand Trailer Sales has a full line of those trailers on their lot in East Grand Forks on Highway 2 East, and a great service and parts department to help you as well. And it's brought to you by Rivards Turf and Forage. They are a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. You find all their products at rivards.com. What a year to need the services of Rivards Turf and Forage. They have science on their side, and they have locality on their side. They mix and match all their seed varieties at their mixing plant right in Grand Forks, which means that they can change their varieties to fit the growing conditions of a season. You don't need to go one and done like you do with the big box stores. Rivards has got you covered with what you're looking for when it comes down to their turf and forage products. You can find them all at rivards.com. Coming up on our pregame report, Nate Solis joined us earlier today, the head coach of Thompson Post 181 American Legion Baseball. We'll talk with him about what's gone on lately and what this Legion baseball team will be looking to do coming up here tonight. Also, the bounce back effect after their loss to Grafton when last we saw them. So stay with us. We'll have more on that coming up here in a couple of moments. And then we'll also take a look at our starting lineups in baseball on the way with a 5 o'clock start tonight here in Thompson. We'll run down the standings in the district. We'll run down our keys to the game and the players to watch of this one, all coming up in our pregame report tonight from Thompson. It's Thompson Post 181 and the Gardner Express tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. We're back with more in a moment.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Plus, they also carry a full line of ice melter products for your home or business. To check out all their products, go to rivards.com.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersSales.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. They have pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. Go to sprayadvantage.com.
Picture yourself at Lake Region State College. With faculty and staff here to help you succeed, we know you by name. Picture your success as you get hands-on ready for the workforce or transfer on to earn your bachelor's degree. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always...
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com. Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Welcome back to our coverage of American Legion baseball here in Thompson tonight, where Thompson, post 181, will play host to Gardner this evening in a league matchup right before the 4th of July holiday. We bring it to you tonight courtesy of our premier sports partners, Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks, and Rivard's Turf and Forage, a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. Our pregame report tonight is presented by True North Equipment, true to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. They are the home of the John Deere products that you've come to know and love generationally throughout our area, and True North Equipment is ready to go to work for you all throughout the course of a given year. True North Equipment, 10 locations to serve you, bringing you our pregame report tonight, as well as Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. Signature Graphics and Apparel can do custom etching work on any material and then affix that material to an article of clothing. If you want your patch to be wood, metal, plastic, anything, they can get that onto clothing. Durable, looks sharp, puts your logo to work in a different way. They've got their regular silk printing. They've got also the custom embroidery and vinyl signage at Signature Graphics and Apparel in East Grand Forks. They're near the Point Bridge, just on the north side of the Point Bridge in East Grand Forks. Well, tonight it's Thompson taking on Gardner. Grafton was here the last time we were here. This will be a league matchup coming up tonight. As far as the league goes, let's take a look at our Drive for the Title. Drive for the Title is brought to you by Toys for Trucks. They are your car, truck, and Jeep accessory supercenter in Grand Forks, and Toys for Trucks is ready to serve you with a full line of custom rims and wheels. If you're looking to take that ride up a notch for the summer driving season, there's still plenty of it left, and Toys for Trucks has all of what you're looking for in accessories to help you out, along with performance tires, Cooper, Hankook, all of the performance lines that you know. They've got you covered at Toys for Trucks. You can see them at 6105 Gateway Drive in Grand Forks. They're on Highway 2 West. On Gateway Drive in Grand Forks. Toys for Trucks bringing you Drive for the Title. Now, these standings are as close as we could get, because finding information about the districts when it comes down to standings, it's kind of a little bit of a game of pulling a lot of teeth and asking a lot of questions. But Thompson undefeated right now with a smaller sample size. Remember, they took the first week off. They're currently at 3-0. Mayport CG now 4-2 inside the district. Hillsborough Central Valley 3-2. Haddon Northwood currently 2-3, and Gardner now 1-5 after picking up that first league win of the year last night, knocking off Haddon Northwood. Couple of key dates to keep in mind as far as our Drive for the Title, and those key dates include the District 6 tournament, which will be July 21st to the 23rd at Mayville. You can see that on the right-hand side of your screen. And what does that mean? Well, we come back on the 7th after the 4th of July holiday. So there is exactly 2 weeks between when we come back and the start of district tournament play. That's all that will be left of Legion baseball after we come back from the holiday. And then the state tournament, the 1st through the 5th of August at Park River. That is now a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday format. A lot of baseball purists will be used to the Wednesday through Sunday format, but I believe they've gone to the Friday to try to accommodate maybe some Babe Ruth stuff. I'm not sure if that's the case, or the Babe Ruth tournament maybe is the week before, and they would like to have some of the Babe Ruth players that sometimes help out the Legion teams nonetheless. A little different format, 1st to the 5th in Park River. That means if you're Thompson, you don't have far to go, right? You'll go to Mayville for the district tournament, about 25 miles, and the state tournament would be about 50 miles away from Thompson. So Post 181's in a pretty good spot if they're able to make their way into the state tournament. That's Drive for the Title, and it's brought to you by Toys for Trucks. They are your car, truck, and Jeep accessory supercenter in Grand Forks. Our pregame report will continue in a couple of moments. Brought to you by True North Equipment and Signature Graphics and Apparel. Up next, we'll have the comments of Thompson Post 181 head coach Nate Solis, who joined us earlier for a conversation about tonight's game. That's coming up in a couple of moments, so stay with us. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Your local Circle K and Holiday Station stores are proud to support high school activities. Stop by the new Circle K location at 1316 South Washington Street for not only gas, but a wide array of hot and cold food, snacks for everyone, and a car wash. Open 24/7, 7 days a week.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. They have pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. Go to sprayadvantage.com.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, no matter what the size, PS Doors offers the proper service for you. Get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersSales.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
Welcome back to our coverage of American Legion Baseball. Tonight, it's Thompson getting set to take on Gardner back inside district play tonight, getting ready to go into the 4th of July break as well. So it's important for teams to pick up some wins as they get ready to go into that long holiday breakaway, get away from baseball for a while, and then come back to it and finish up with kind of a torrid stretch as we get ready to go into postseason play. Nate Solis is the head coach of the Thompson Post 181 American Legion Baseball team. He joins us again for our pregame report that we have here today as they get set to host Gardner tonight. And Coach, we referenced that break. Maybe you could talk to us a little bit about that. I know that baseball isn't, 100% of the time, but it's still like 80, 85, 90% of the time during this summer break or summer season, I should say. You're probably looking forward to a break, or at least the players are looking forward to a break right now.
Yeah. The way our schedule's set up, they got a lot of weekends free and they're done after Thursday. But nonetheless, it's still a little bit of a longer, different break. 4th of July, going to do some things that they enjoy, going to the lake, on the boat, doing fireworks, whatever they enjoy doing, probably some golf a little bit too. So yeah, it's a good mental reset. You can almost break the season into two parts. For Legion, for us, our first part's a little bit longer than our second, but if you include postseason time there, state tournament, it evens out a little bit. So, we wanted to finish this week strong. We had a good game against Hillsborough Central Valley last night and won a tight one there. So, the message to the guys is let's play our best baseball here. Going into the holiday break and then coming back with like I said, it's a good mental reset. 4th of July, you come back. And then for a big class of seniors, it's their last run at it. So hopefully they come with some determination there and wanting to be around the guys in the field. So that's kind of the message that we've shared with our team so far.
And Coach, last time we saw you was against Grafton, and you're up against another good pitcher to start the game, good pitcher to end the game. But I felt like maybe your team was a little frustrated that they struggled offensively. Were you able to talk about that? Were you able to bounce back a little bit in that category in your game last night?
Yeah, we know we face a lot of really good pitchers, and people are going to give us their best. So it's about having an approach. It's about seeing if we can pick up something that they're doing maybe, or is there a tendency that they have, any way that you can, hit the ball hard and put pressure on the defense. We did that towards the last inning there of that Grafton game. And, it just came up a little bit short, kind of shot ourselves in the foot too many times defensively. And, we dug ourselves too big of a hole. So I think it was a good lesson. We rebounded with that next Grafton game and came away with a win there going into the weekend. And, like I said, we faced Chase Halfley last night for HCV, their best arm, and he did a great job. And we had Wolfgram on the mound again, and so it's kind of a little bit of a pitcher's duel there. So, and we just got to understand that that's you're not going to put up 10 runs against some of these guys, and to not get too frustrated. Multiple hit games against pitchers like that just aren't going to happen every single time. So that's baseball. That's just kind of how the game works, and it's frustrating. I've been there as a player, been there as a coach. You want to do more, but you got to give credit to the other team as well.
So, Coach, tonight you take on Gardner. This is an interesting story. A lot of it you would expect to be based on Northern Cass's team, and Northern Cass was a state tournament team, but they've had a struggle as far as the district is concerned. Got a win last night against Hatton Northwood, though, so it might be tough to know what to expect out of this team. You might have a little bit of inside scoop on that. What can you tell us about this team?
Yeah, they do lose some bodies. A couple of kids go to West Fargo. They do gain some bodies from some Harwood kids. It's a unique situation, something that we don't really deal with in our district, other than them, obviously. So, they're well coached. They know what they're doing. But yeah, so I think they're down 3 or 4. I think from the spring, a couple injuries there as well. But they do have some capable arms that can keep them in games. If they're not making mistakes and putting the ball in play, they do have a chance. And so they do have the talent, and we saw it this spring as well. So it's just about, playing our game and doing the things that we talk about, consistently.
And then what do you do tonight as far as the pitching situation? If you pitched Braden Wolfgram last night, you're moving down the I guess ladder, you could say, in the rotation a little bit. You still got great arms out there, but you might be looking for someone to maybe take over that number 2 role or establish themselves on the mound still.
Jeremy Tice will throw tonight. He's this summer. Even this spring, he was kind of our guy. With Odenbach hurt, and he stepped up in a big way for us, and he does a really good job. He's really, every time, spring, it takes him a little bit more time to get going, but then the summer rolls around and you can just tell he hits another gear, with velocity and just mixing his stuff well. And him and Dex do a really good job together. Dex calls a great game for him. He's very comfortable with Dex catching him. You can kind of just tell the vibe on the field as well as the time they spend off the field with their relationship. But he'll throw tonight. Maybe look at getting Tom Schumacher some innings. He's kind of had a couple weird weeks with pitching and wanting to get some guys some extra innings. And Tom's a great teammate. He's team first mentality, and he understands. Whenever you need me, I'll be ready to go.
Those comments earlier tonight from the head coach of Thompson Post 181 American Legion Baseball, Nate Solis. We have a quick break in our pregame report brought to you by True North Equipment and Signature Graphics and Apparel. When we come back, your starting lineup, so we'll throw out the first pitch of this one as the coaches are currently meeting with our umpires at home plate. We get ready for baseball. Thompson and Gardner on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports, and we're back with more in just a couple of moments, so stay with us.
Your local Circle K and Holiday Station stores are proud to support high school activities. Stop by the new Circle K location at 1316 South Washington Street for not only gas, but a wide array of hot and cold food, snacks for everyone, and a car wash. Open 24/7, 7 days a week.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. They have pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. Go to sprayadvantage.com.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, no matter what the size, PS Doors offers the proper service for you. Get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersSales.com.
Your family deserves clean filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Yeah, we're ready to go. We're going to start this thing early tonight. We were scheduled for a 5 o'clock first pitch, and Gardner's here, Thompson's here, and warmed up. Let's get started tonight. It's Ryan Cunningham, Joey Springer, and KNOX Live Sports from Thompson Baseball Field, where the Tommies, Post 181, set to take on Gardner tonight in the Express. Another league matchup. Gardner, the visiting team, at the plate, and Matthew Shotsky will lead it off. We'll go through our starting lineup here in a couple of moments. Jeremy Tice is on the hill tonight for Thompson. He kicks and fires a fastball away for a ball and no strikes. And we'll get things started tonight at 4:54 this evening officially. So a good 6 minutes early tonight. The 1-0 pitch misses away, and the count will go to 2 balls and no strikes. Starting lineup tonight is brought to you by Franson Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. FransonBank.com. And we'll take a look at the starting lineup. Here's a swing and a miss by Matt Shotsky and a fastball. Leading off is second baseman Matt Shotsky. Batting second, Jacob Ossie at short. Carter Wadeson's behind the plate batting third, and Matt Metzger in center field cleans things up. The 2-1 pitch, a swing and a bouncer towards the right side, and that's off of Drew Odenbach's glove and out into center field. And that will lead to Matt Shotsky reaching first base. Likely going to rule that an error, I would assume, on the first baseman, or are we calling that a short hop base hit? That will be the indicator. Going to call that a base hit? All right, single for Shotsky. So a base hit for Matt Shotsky to lead things off for Gardner. Batting fifth is the designated hitter, Reston Schultz. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Sam Clement. Batting seventh will be the pitcher, Parker Anderson, as Jacob Ossie steps in. And Ossie swings and grounds one towards the left side. Tom Schumacher has it at short, flipped to second base for one. Relay throw's not going to be in time. Shotsky will be out number one as he is forced at second base. Tom Schumacher covering some ground in the hole at short. Batting 8th is the right fielder, Noah Olheiser, and batting 9th is the left fielder, Cody Wadeson. So some speed at the bottom of the order tonight for Gardner. 1 out, 1 on for the Express here in the top of the first inning, and that is your starting lineup tonight for Gardner. We'll take a look at the defensive positioning for Thompson coming up here in a couple of moments as Carter Wadeson, the catcher, will step in for Gardner tonight. A check of the runner by Jeremy Tice, and the pitch on the way. Fastball, called a strike in the outside corner, and it's no balls and a strike. Left to right in the outfield for Thompson, Will Welke, Johnny Muse, Caden Loyland. Third to first on the infield, Braden Wolfgram, Tom Schumacher, Braden Tice, Drew Odenbach. Jeremy Tice, the pitcher, Dex Advim, the catcher. Swing and a miss by Carter Wadeson. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. And Thompson's going to bat straight 9 tonight. They've used Drew Odenbach the last couple of times as the designated hitter, but Odenbach in the lineup, and this will be a chance to try to jumpstart a little offense here for Nate Solis and Thompson. A curveball that's lifted in the air to right field. Drifting in will be Loyland, and he lets it drop. He may have lost it in the sun. He picks it up, throws to second base for an out, and Jacob Ossie will be forced 9-4 on the putout. Wadeson will reach on a fielder's choice. Yeah, 5 o'clock in right field. That sun can be a problem here in Thompson. You're looking right into it, especially here in the month of July. It's right there where you're going to find it, and Loyland did the best he could to track it down. In the long run, hit shallow enough to where Ossie couldn't get away from first base, really to give himself a fighting chance at second. So when the ball fell, as long as Loyland could locate it, he had an out in front of him in the middle of the infield. 2 away. And a runner on is Matt Metzger, the cleanup man, will come to the plate. Metzger swings and fouls one off to the right side. And the count's no balls and a strike. Nice day, though. We've got a breeze that's cooling things off. It's a warm day, obviously. We knew about that. But you can get past that if you've got a little bit of a breeze to cool it off. And we have that here today. The 0-1 pitch on the way. That's taken for a strike of the knees. And the count will go to no balls and 2 strikes. 87 degrees. As we get this one started today here in Thompson, but it may not feel like it if you're in the shade or in the breeze. You're in the sunshine, though it feels every bit. 87. The 0-2 to Metzger got him looking, strike 3. Metzger's rung up, and a nice inning for Jeremy Tice coming back after the little infield chop single. Couple of fielders' choices on a ground ball and a fly out, and a strikeout of Matt Metzger to retire, or rather Gardner. No runs on a hit, 1 left. It's a half inning in. Your score is Gardner 0 and Thompson coming to bat. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball with our changeovers brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of ag tires in the region, and brought to you as well by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned promotional shop in Grand Forks. Our coverage continues next on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Add a pop of color and excitement to your next celebration with Balloons by Misty. Their one-of-a-kind balloon design skills and creativity will make your event unforgettable. It's always a party at Balloons by Misty. Visit balloonsbymisty.com today.
Residents of the Midwest are known for being self-starters and getting the job done. But when it comes to electrical work, it's best to call a professional. Hi, this is Steve from Bergstrom Electric. It's true that there's a certain glory to accomplishing a task on your own, but it's our experience that not only will save you time, but also the headaches that go along with home improvement projects. A simple phone call to Bergstrom Electric can make all the difference. At Bergstrom Electric, the light does shine brighter.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
Welcome back to our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network as Thompson gets set to come to the plate for the first time to face Gardner tonight here in the bottom of the first inning. Starting lineup brought to you by Franson Bank and Trust. Real people, real results, fransonbank.com. Lineup for Thompson leading off is the catcher Dex Advim. Batting second, third baseman Braden Wolfgram. Batting third, the shortstop Thomas Schumacher, and Will Welke will clean up in left field. Drew Odenbach bats fifth and is at first base. Johnny Muse will bat sixth in center field. Jeremy Tice bats seventh. He's the pitcher. Batting eighth, Caden Loyland, the right fielder. And Braden Tice at second base will round out the order for Nate Solis and Thompson post 181. And maybe a chance to jumpstart the offense by going to straight 9. Once in a while, if you're playing defense, it will activate your bat as well. And Thompson struggled a little bit for some offense lately, so rather than using the DH route. They'll go to straight 9. Parker Anderson, left-hander for Gardner with some pretty good velocity on a fastball, taking his warm-up tosses. Now I'm going to fight things out with my scorekeeper here for a moment because they've got 2 hits on the board here, so they ruled that chopper by Shotsky a base hit. But that ball that fell in right actually led to a force out. So we're probably at 1 hit, right? Okay, I just want to make sure. I want to do things right, stay straight on the stat keeper side of things. So a hit for Gardner in that first inning. Gardner defensively, left to right in the outfield, Cody Wadeson, Matt Metzger, and Noah Olheiser. Third to first on the infield. Jake Arison, who's being hit for. Jacob Ossie, Matt Shotsky, Sam Clement. Behind the plate, Carter Wadeson. Parker Anderson is on the hill, and he gets ready to face Dex Advem, leading things off for Thompson. And the pitch to Advem is high and away for ball 1. Go through our game fuel coming up here in a couple of moments. Brought to you by Circle K. Anderson taking a look in for a sign. And the 1-0 offering to Advem. That one called low for ball 2. And the ball gets away coming out onto the field. Game fuel brought to you by Circle K. Thompson still looking at that big 3. Thomas Schumacher, Will Welke, Braden Wolfgram. They're going to stir the drink. They've got good supporting cast. Those are the men that have to produce. Gardner with some interesting names that we'll talk about. The 2-0 pitch on the way. That one misses away for ball 3. Back to the game fuel brought to you by Circle K. Matt Metzger pitched last night in the win for Northern Cass, or I should say for Gardner. Jacob Ossie, we thought we might see him today. Ethan Olheiser also listed as a player to watch here tonight. Game fuel brought to you by Circle K, open 24/7, 365 on South Washington and Midtown in Grand Forks, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Dex Advem. He'll go down to first base for Thompson. Circle K with 4 locations in Grand Forks and further expanding, acquiring the Dusterhoff properties in Grand Forks as well and expanding their footprint in Grand Forks. And with a service that they offer, good opportunity to find service at Circle K. Now we'll see a courtesy runner here. It's going to be Mac Michelson that will run at first base for Thompson. So Mac Michelson running for catcher Dex Advem. That's a courtesy runner. And Braden Wolfgram is at the plate for Thompson. Here in the bottom of the first inning, Wolfgram swings and lifts one in the air, foul, drifting out into the parking lot. Takes a high kick out there, bounding towards the car, landed on top of a red vehicle out there. No balls and a strike on Wolfgram. You can hear the breeze a little bit in the background. Advem leads away, Michelson from first base. A look away by the lefty Parker Anderson. The 0-1 bunt is shown, laid down beautifully up the first base line. Grabbed on the glove by Arison. Throw going to be offline. Heads out into foul territory. A turn at second by Michelson. He'll chug into third. Taking the extra base will be Wolfgram. And Thompson's got a set plate here in the first inning. Probably going to have to rule that an error on the third baseman, although I don't think they were going to get him either, but Arison's throw offline, that allows the extra bases to be taken. So Michelson over to third, and Wolfgram will go to second base. And Thompson has a pair of runners on with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Big chance to strike as Thomas Schumacher will come to the plate with 2 in scoring position here in the bottom of the first. Anderson will come set just below the letters on the chest. And the pitch to Schumacher is high for ball 1. We've seen Anderson kind of routinely missing up there. There's a great bunt by Braden Wolfgram. We can't talk enough about that. But you know what? Jake Arison making the fielding play. We also can't talk enough about that. That was a really nice snag on the grass. Just could not make the throw. 1-0 pitch. Schumacher lines one to the right center field gap. That'll drop for a base hit. Holding up at third and waiting was Michelson. He will score. And Thompson will take a 1-0 lead. On to third goes Wolfgram, and Schumacher with the RBI single to get things started. We take a look at it again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. We had mentioned that Parker Anderson was missing up. This was belt high, right where Tom Schumacher could find it, lines it out into right field, and really no chance to make a play on the runner scoring. And Thompson takes a 1-0 advantage in this one here in the top, or rather bottom of the first inning, and still runners aboard at first and third. Schumacher doing some bouncing over at first base in his lead. Anderson delivers to Will Welke high, and the count is a ball and no strikes. A walk and error on a good bunt And a base hit has led to a run, a pair on, and still nobody out for Thompson in the home half of the first inning. Anderson sets, and the 1-0 pitch on the way to Welke. Line shot towards second base to Hopper. That's picked up by Shotsky. He'll flip to second for one. The throw across the diamond won't be in time. It's a little offline as well. Welke will beat it out, reaching out a fielder's choice. It'll drive in a run as Wolfgram comes home from third. That'll make it 2-0 in favor of Thompson. I think Matt Shotsky might have been somewhat surprised to find that baseball in his glove out at second base. That was a good rip by Welke to second. And Shotsky kind of put a glove down, hoping he was in the right spot, and he just happened to be in the right spot on that play. So 2 in for Thompson. 1 out now here in the bottom of the first, and Drew Odenbach, the first baseman, will come to the plate. Anderson, a lot of look over towards first. Odenbach, a check swing, takes a pitch for a strike. I wouldn't expect Will Welke to be a running candidate here. Odenbach can put the ball in play, though. You could maybe jumpstart something that way, especially with an out. Anderson will look that way. He's going, and a check swing going to be called to strike at the plate. The peg out to second base, not going to be in time. Stolen base for Will Welke. I cannot overstate how awesome of a base running that play was for Will Welke. He had left-hander Parker Anderson looking right at him, and as soon as that foot went forward, Welke was gone. I mean, you cannot get a better jump on a left-handed pitcher than Welke just got. At second base now with 1 out as Welke. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Drew Odenbach. The 0-2 pitch. He swings and lifts one foul out towards the parking area as well. 2 in for Thompson here in the home half of the first. And looking for a third as Will Welke stands at second base with 1 out in the inning. Odenbach fighting off a pitch from Anderson. Parker Anderson checks Welke back at second. And the 0-2 to Odenbach high. It stands Carter Wadeson up behind the plate and has to reach up to make the grab. A ball and 2 strikes. After tonight, we're finished up for the first part of the season, as you heard referred to in our pregame report as 2 segments of the season, before the 4th, after the 4th. A look in by Anderson, a look back at second base. And the 1-2 to Odenbach again. He'll foul off another. And it'll remain a ball and 2 strikes. Coach Solis telling us that really this thing works where you kind of grind out the first 3-4 weeks of the Legion baseball season, get to the 4th of July, and then when you have a bunch of seniors, as his team does, you load up for those last 2 weeks knowing that that's your run. You want to make it a 4-week season. You have 2 weeks of regular season and 3 days of district tournament to play, and you want to be playing after that. Anderson looks back. The 1-2 to Odenbach. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. Odenbach becomes out number 2 here in the first inning for Thompson. And it will be up to Johnny Muse, the center fielder, to try to produce that 3rd run. This Gardner team, as you heard from Coach Solis, has plenty of talent. I mean, the talent's not the issue. They do have some injuries, some players that play elsewhere during the summer, but they've got talent. Just a tough start to the season due to some of those other factors, but a win last night gives them a little bit of momentum here. A look back at second base by Anderson, lead away by Welke. And the pitch to Muse is low for ball 1. We'll take a look at our keys for the game, brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World, coming up in the 2nd inning tonight. And momentum, one of those keys for Gardner. Finding some offense, one of those keys for Thompson. They've done a lot of things right when we've seen them, but finding the offense has been just a bit of a struggle. The 1-0 on the way to Muse is low. The count will go to 2 balls and no strikes. And, you know, in all fairness to post 181, Nate Solis has told us many times when we've seen them, they've been up against a staff's ace pitcher. They've had to play a lot of tough pitching here in the first 3 weeks of their Legion season. 2-0 pitch called to strike at the belt on Muse. And it's 2 balls and a strike. 2-0 Thompson on our all-true scoreboard. A look back by Parker Anderson towards second base. Another check of Welke. A third. And now the 2-1 pitch. Curveball missed inside, and it's 3 balls and a strike to Muse. I don't think Parker Anderson is expecting Will Welke to run anymore on the base paths, but I think he's using his check of the runner to disrupt the timing at the plate for Muse and whoever may be there. Savvy pitching move by Parker Anderson. Another look back at second base. The 3-1 to Muse. Misses away for ball 4. So the second walk of the inning. The first one to Dex Advem led to a run scoring. And now runners will be at first and second with 2 outs. Jeremy Tice, the pitcher. Chance to help his own cause here for post 181. So Welke away from second, Muse from first. And Parker Anderson will try to find himself out of a bit of a 2-out jam here. 2 into the inning, trying to limit the damage by Thompson. Couple of checks of Welke at second, and the pitch on the way to Tice is high and away for ball 1. Seems like Anderson's kind of struggling to find that fastball release point tonight. He's been up a lot. He missed low a couple of times on the previous at-bat, so he's trying to find his location, but he kind of resembles a pitcher struggling to find that point. Here's a spin and a pickoff move. Good play back to second base. Throw right on the money to the shortstop, Jacob Ossie, but good head first slide by Will Welke to beat it out. 1-0 to Jeremy Tice. Runners take their leads from first and second again. Anderson will look back at second base, the 1-0. Called a strike in the inside corner. That'll level the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Not as big a crowd here right away tonight, perhaps, as we've seen before. But still a pretty good group of people in the grandstand and enjoying the tables under the umbrellas off to the first base side. The 1-1 to Tice. Misses inside. Count goes to 2-1. We have more post-6 Grand Forks American Legion baseball. They didn't play a league game at home this week, but they will next week, and it's been a while since we've been out there to see them. We'll do that coming up next week here on KNOX Live Sports. Anderson looks around. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Tice perhaps ahead of that. Anderson might have taken something off that pitch, changing speeds. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs in the inning and 2 on with 2 in. So the old Deuces Wild effect here for Thompson in the first. Anderson is set. Eyeballs the runners, the 2-2 pitch. Tice swings and caps 1 foul. The last couple of nights out here, Thompson versus Park River and Thompson versus Grafton. These are the situations for Thompson where they needed the hit, really against Grafton when we were here last, but they get these multiple runners on, and you're looking to extend an inning, coming with that clutch 2-out hit that good teams do, and that's what's eluded post 181 last couple of times out here. Anderson is set just above the belt. And the 2-2 again to Tice. Curveball misses inside. Tough to lay off of. Good movement that time. Coming back from the left-handed pitcher to the right-handed batter. It's full on Jeremy Tice at 3-2. Runners get a jump here. With the count full. Pair of runners at first and second. Anderson checks those runners. Payoff pitch. High. Ball 4. And they're loaded. Full of Thompson runners on the 3rd walk of the inning from Parker Anderson. So it's Caden Loyland, lefty versus lefty, to try to produce for Thompson here in the first inning. Loyland taking a look around. And we're going to see a courtesy runner here for the pitcher, Jeremy Tice. Take a look at who that's going to be. I believe that's Eli Gemmel that's going to come in and run for Tice. So the pitcher can come in and get ready to do his work. Gemmel stands on at first. Part of the base is loaded. And the pitch is high to Caden Loyland. The count's a ball and no strikes. Well, now if you're Parker Anderson, the pressure starts to switch back to you. No place to put Loyland. You got to throw a strike here soon, or you're messing around with bringing in a run. Number 9 in the order coming up. Usually the top of the order doesn't follow that by much. The 1-0 pitch on the way. This is low. Ball squirts away. An attempt to score coming in from third. Will Welke, he'll do so. Little ball that gets away, going to make it 3-0 in favor of Thompson. So Welke will score in a wild pitch. And the third run to come in the inning on the benefit of just one base hit for Thompson, the RBI single by Tom Schumacher. Runners from first and second. Loyland waiting for a 2-ball. No strike pitch. Here it is. He swings and lifts it out to left field. Cody Wadeson coming on. Long run. He can't make the diving stab. Around third looking to score will be Muse. Holding up at second and third will be Tice and Loyland. And it's now a 4-0 game in favor of Thompson. Go in the book as, I suppose, a double for Caden Loyland, a double for Caden Loyland. And we'll see Johnny Muse come home to score as well, I believe, on the play. So Muse will score, making it 4-0 in favor of Thompson. And now Jeremy Tice standing down at third, or rather Eli Gemmel, his runner, as a pitch is called a strike on Braden Tice, and the count will go to no balls and a strike. So just the second hit of the inning for Thompson, the double for Caden Loyland that lands in front of a diving stab by Cody Wadeson, who made a good run at it. Couldn't find it. 2 aboard. Tice, no balls and a strike. Swings at a curveball, lifts it in the air to right field. Fairly well hit. Back after it and turning after it is Noah Olheiser. He won't find it. That falls in right field. 2 runs will come around to score. Thompson getting the benefit of the sun that time, and it's 6-0 in favor of Post 181. Another double. Take a look at it on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay, and give an assist to the Sun on this one. Ball up on Tice. He just lifts it lazily to right field. Olheiser coming on, looking. He got turned around. Then it ends up falling short. And with 2 outs, everybody running all the way. And Thompson turns it into a 6-0 ball game. And a runner at second, as we'll see Dex Advim come back to the plate for the second time here in the inning. He shows bunt, lays one down towards the pitcher, picked up by Parker Anderson. His throw to first going to be picked up off the ground in time by Sam Clemens. So a big play for Clemens to pick up the out, as that throw wasn't exactly on the spot either. Thompson, though, does damage. 6 runs on 3 hits and error. They'll leave 1, and we've played a full inning. New score on the All-True scoreboard. It's Thompson 6 and Gardner 0. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Since 1972, Jarrell's Sports Center and Hockey World has provided year-round sporting goods, apparel, and of course, hockey equipment and training tools. You'll also find they have a state-of-the-art skate sharpening machine to give you the edge you need. For anything sports, stop into Jarrell's and Hockey World. When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335. Your local Circle K and Holiday Station stores are proud to support high school activities. Stop by the new Circle K location at 1316 South Washington Street for not only gas, but a wide array of hot and cold food, snacks for everyone, and a car wash. Open 24/7, 7 days a week.
We go to the top of the second inning, and Thompson takes 6 runs in the bottom of the first on 3 hits. And it was just brutal in the outfield for Gardner on a couple of occasions. A ball that falls in right field, a diving play that comes up short and left, pair of doubles where the ball didn't get behind the outfielder, but it leads to 4 big runs coming across at the end of the inning. Thompson takes advantage for a 6-0 lead as we go to the top of the second inning, and we'll see Northern Cass leading off with Rustin Schultz. Keys the game, brought to you by Jarrell's Sports Center and Hockey World. It's always hockey season at Jarrell's Sports Center and Hockey World, and Jarrell's has you covered. Jarrell's with every pad, every stick, every piece of clothing that you're looking for, whatever the position, Jarrell's has you covered. They bring you the keys to the game. Gardner jumping on some mistakes, building on some momentum. Those are big keys for Gardner after their win last night, trying to continue that momentum. Thompson finding the green often and solidifying defensively, and we did see them come up with just a tough play in the first inning, trying to make that big defensive play as the leadoff man, Rustin Schultz, takes a strike. But finding the green, they did that on a couple of lazy fly balls. I mean, sometimes it's not always pretty, but it works. Thompson turns a mildly productive inning into a big inning. And those are the keys of the game, brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season. Rustin Schultz, the DH, leads things off for Gardner and fouls one off. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes on Schultz. Schultz hitting for the third baseman, Jake Harrison, the 0-2 on the way. Called strike 3, got him inner half, and Rustin Schultz is strikeout victim number 2 for Jeremy Tice here tonight. 1 out in the inning, nobody on, and that's going to bring Sam Clement to the plate. And we'll see how Gardner kind of responds here. It's been obviously a tough season for him, and now you've got the big deficit staring in the face against one of the teams that really is going to be a front runner in the district. And so do you find yourself a way to dig back into this matchup, or does Thompson's momentum kind of carry them along? A check swing, pitch called a strike on Sam Clement. And the count is 1 ball, 1 strike on Clement for Gardner. Clement playing in the first base position. He had to make a tough play at the end of that last inning. Throw to him on a bunt attempt from Dex Advem. The throw coming from pitcher Parker Anderson, and that actually grounded in front of the runner. But Clement kept his glove down, made a good pick over at first base. 2-1 pitch to him, swinging a ground ball down the third base line. Diving stab by Wolfgram, knocks it down, but will not get it cleanly in his glove. No chance to get Clement. He's got himself a base hit. Second hit of the game for Gardner. And now Parker Anderson will come to the plate for the Express. Wear basically the same color scheme as the Northern Cass Jaguars. Gold, black, white. Thompson in their black tonight with the green and white across the chest, green letters. White trim. Decent lead for Clement over at first base. Pitch called a strike at the belt on Anderson. And it's 0-1 on the Gardner pitcher. 6-0 Thompson here in the top of the second inning. A look by Tice over to first base. The 0-1 offering. That one called a strike down to the knees. That's going to be bottom of the zone on Parker Anderson. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. I wouldn't think the wind is a huge factor. There's a breeze here, but I think maybe just bad jumps on the ball. The sun could be a problem, certainly out in right field. In left field, that ball just had a little hang to it for for Gardner in the last half inning. Move over to first base. That's close. Oh, just back in time is the runner, Clement. Drew Odenbach caught that ball well, put down a great tag right where it needed to go, and that had to have been a tight play over at first base. And Clement's got a pretty good lead over at first at this point. Tice checks him. And the 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3, another strikeout for Jeremy Tice, and Anderson frozen at the plate for the second out of the inning. Third strikeout for Jeremy Tice. Runner at first with 2 away. And we'll see Noah Olheiser come to the plate for Gardner, trying to extend the inning against Jeremy Tice. Tice delivers. That pitch called a strike. Count, no balls and a strike. This Thompson baseball logo is interesting. The T that they have on the hat, the cursive writing, they use it uniformly all the way down through the youth baseball program in Thompson. 1 all the way down. 0-1 pitch high. The count goes to a ball and a strike. Of course, Thompson Public School using the 2 block T's like Texas Tech, only in the right color, they would say here in Thompson, the green. Set by Tice, look over towards first. Good lead by Clement again. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Counts the ball and 2 strikes on Noah Olheiser. We'll see if Clement's going anywhere here. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Might want to give yourself a chance to jumpstart. Don't want to run into an out, though, with your number 8 man at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner holds. Curveball, late swing, swung through and missed, and Olheiser is down on strikes. And Jeremy Tice will go out and pick up 3 strikeouts in the top of the second against Gardner. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We've played an inning and a half. Your score on the All True scoreboard is Thompson 6, Gardner nothing. Scoreboard updates are brought to you by All True. Regular care screening with All True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. We're back with more American Legion baseball next on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
ProAg in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything ProAg has to offer.
You've been waiting for a chance to do something that matters, something big without a big price tag. Welcome to Northland Community and Technical College. Here you can have a big impact on a small campus, in classrooms that mirror today's workplace, with instructors who teach from experience and know you by name. You've been waiting for a place like this. Are you ready?
Changeover is brought to you by Apex Apparel. They're your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned promotional shop in Grand Forks. And they're brought to you by Big Jim's Tire. They're your #1 supplier of ag tires in the region and with you all throughout the course of the agricultural season. We get ready for the bottom of the second. Braden Wolfgram leads things off for Thompson. Post 181 with a couple of lofty doubles that fell in front of outfielders in a tough outfield for Gardner in the bottom of the first to score 4 runs off those and lead 6-0 as Wolfgram, who reached on an error, steps in. He bunts one foul. And the count, no balls and a strike. So for those of you that are jumping in, getting a look at the score and wondering what happened, it wasn't just Thompson pouring it on. In the top of the first, they scored a run on the benefit of a hit, an error, and a walk, and then loaded the bases. But then a tough situation where a double by Caden Loyland that fell in front of a diving stab in left field by Cody Wadeson, just kind of a hanger, and a ball that turned around right fielder Noah Olheiser in the sun that he couldn't find and fell to his left. And in both cases, 2 outs, runners running all the way. 0-1 pitch to Wolfgram is high, and the count is a ball and a strike. And when you've got multiple runners on and one drops in the outfield, 2 outs, guys are going to run forever. And all of a sudden it turns into a big 6-run inning instead of the 2-run inning or even the 1-run inning that it should have been. Also, 3 walks in the inning for Parker Anderson. Breaking pitch drops in for a strike. And the count, a ball and 2 strikes on Braden Wolfgram. Wolfgram reached on an error, scored. Back in the first, he was on the bump last night for Thompson in their win. 1-2 pitch, misses low for a ball, and the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thompson defeated Hillsboro Central Valley last night. So wins over Mayport, Hatton Northwood, Hillsboro Central Valley. Gardner would complete the first time through the circuit for Thompson. 2-2, lifted high in the air by Wolfgram, reaching towards foul territory by first base. A look by Clement. He's going to make the play, and that's another nice play by the first baseman. Sam Clement had a hard time tracking that one down. A little bit of a breeze up there, hit very high in the air. And Clement able to step over there, stay with it, and come up with out number 1 here in the bottom of the second inning. So 1 out, nobody on for Thomas Schumacher, who singled and scored. No, singled rather, drove in a run back in the bottom of the first inning. He was later forced at second base, but came up with an RBI to get things started for Thompson tonight. And the pitch to him is high for ball 1. So Thompson will have some league work to do in the last couple of weeks of the season. I know they've got a Friday night game here with Hatton Northwood at one point, coming up to start finishing things up. 1-0 pitch, misses just high on Schumacher. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. That'll be a big game. Have to go to Gardner at some point. Have to go to Mayport at some point in the second half of the district season. Only a 5-team district. 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Big healthy swing by Schumacher. Count goes to 2-1. Was supposed to be a 6-team district this year. Fargo Oak Grove did not field a team. And I believe that's the outcroppings of the old Harwood team in the first place. And so, tough telling. 2-1 pitch, hard shot right at third baseman Jake Harrison, who reaches down and makes the catch. And I don't know if he's saying the Hail Mary right now or thinking I got you at third base, but nonetheless, a great defensive play as Schumacher is robbed on a line drive to third for the second out of the inning. That'll bring Will Welke to the plate. I'm not sure we'll get the entire ball in that one, the way that one was hit when we take a look at it on our replay, but I'll tell you, that one was ripped by Schumacher to third, and Jake Harrison probably feeling fortunate he had a glove on it. Welke swings and grounds one to short, picked up cleanly by Osi. His throw across the diamond is in time, and Thompson will eventually go away in order in their half of the second inning, nothing across. We've played 2 innings full, and your score on the All True scoreboard remains Thompson 6 and Gardner nothing. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Need seed, think Proseed. Proseed.net.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersSales.com.
Go to the top of the third inning with Gardner trailing Thompson by a score of 6-0. On our All True scoreboard, Cody Wadeson will lead things off for Gardner, here in the third inning. Then back to the top of the order. Second trip through for the Express against Jeremy Tice, who struck out 4, giving up 2 base hits so far tonight. And the opening offering to Wadeson is a ground ball that Tice will field on one knee, taking it away from his second baseman off to his left. And Wadeson is a ground ball out to start the third. 1 out, nobody on. And that's going to bring Matt Shotsky to the plate, who singled his first time up. Hit the ball to the right side. Tough play over at first base for Drew Odenbach. And the pitch on the way to Shotsky misses away for ball 1. Drew Odenbach has a unique spot out here. Not only is he the first baseman, but he's also my son's baseball coach, so he's got to set the example. 1-0 pitch misses low for ball 2. And the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Don't worry, when you're 6'7", you're pretty impressive to a 9-year-old. He'll do just fine. 2-0 pitch is high for ball 3, and the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. We've seen 3 Odenbachs come through Thompson, all of them 6'7", 6'6", 6'5". It was just amazing how they all kind of came out doing some of the same things. 3-0 pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Clay Odenbach, Division I baseball at South Dakota State. Kyle Odenbach, the middle brother, both of them left-handers. Drew a righty. 3-1 pitch. Called a strike, and the count goes to 3-2. Drew got his first taste of big-time pitching. He actually started a section tournament game a couple of years ago. 3-2 is swung on, and a one-hopper right back to Tice as well. And Jeremy Tice will flip over to first base to force Shotsky. Pair of 1-3 putouts. 2 out, nobody on. And in the Gardner third, it's Jacob Osi that will come to the plate. A couple of years ago with a section tournament here, Thompson, the driver's seat, needing to be beaten twice by Mayville. As a pitch misses low, a sidearm delivery from Tice for ball 1. Odenbach was the pitcher they threw out there in game 1. He struggled a little bit, but he was young. I think he was like 15 years old, something along those lines. And 1-0 pitch on the way. Called a strike in the inside corner on Jacob Osi, who grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up and then was forced on an odd play when a ball dropped in right field, but he was forced at second. 1-1 pitch high. But back in that series, Nate Solis knew that the cupboard was pretty bare for his opposition in pitching, and He saved the good arm, the really experienced arm for game 2 and got out of that in a 10-run rule in the second game. And I had mentioned that's a really good piece of coaching by Nate Solis back then to play the chess game and wear out the other arm. A lot of people would have been tempted to throw your best arm right at him right away. 3-1 pitch called a strike on the outside corner, and it's full on Jacob Ossie at 3-2. So a full count pitch coming up to Jacob Ossie with the bases empty for Gardner in the third. And the 3-2 swung on, hit foul. They just, Coach Solis knowing that, okay, I can get in a pitcher's duel in game 2. I'm going to go ahead and play this thing that way in game 1. And a lot of coaches might have done that, but the temptation certainly was there. Go after him with your big arm, your best arm. And he played the game perfectly that day and got to the state tournament. Curveball on 3-2, grounded weakly to shorts, 3-hopper. Schumacher can't find it. It's under his glove. Didn't touch it. Likely going to be ruled a base hit here, I would think, for Gardner. And so Gardner will pick up their third hit of the game. So Ossie with a single. That will extend the inning. And Carter Wadeson will come to the plate. Weakly hit ground ball. Schumacher was back on it, and it takes 2 hops. You know how those are going to work. That third hop, you just never know where that one's going to fall, and that one skipped right underneath the glove. Tom anticipated a ball coming up on the hop, and it just went underneath. Swinging a foul back to the screen by Wadeson. Wadeson hit into a fielder's choice to reach, and it was his ball in right field that dropped next to Caden Loyland, but Loyland was able to pick it up, throw to second, and that forced Jacob Ossie at second base in a 9-4 force out. Runner goes with a little hesitation. Advem up throwing, but the throw not going to be in time. Little hitch in the giddy up for Jacob Ossie running, but he finds his way to a stolen base. And the count's no balls and 2 strikes on Carter Wadeson. So Gardner gets one into scoring position here, trying to cut into a Thompson 6-0 lead. Set by Tice out in front of the chest. And the 0-2 pitch on the way. Wadeson swings and misses, strike 3. Another big strikeout for Jeremy Tice. That is his 5th of the day. The 2-out single doesn't hurt. Runner stranded. And Gardner's turned away scoreless in their half of the third inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left. 2.5 in here in Thompson. Your score on the Ultra scoreboard remains Thompson 6, Gardner nothing. Our changeover is brought to you by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround promotional goods store, family owned in Grand Forks. And brought to you today as well by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Picture yourself at Lake Region State College. With faculty and staff here to help you succeed, we know you by name. Picture your success as you get hands-on ready for the workforce or transfer on to earn your bachelor's degree. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
Stay with us in our post-game report tonight. We'll bring you to our game highlights. They're brought to you by Proceed. Need seed? Think Proceed. Proceed.net. Our game highlights coming up in our post-game report immediately after we get done with our game coverage tonight. Our post-game report will be brought to you this evening by Spray Advantage. Everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. And brought to you by Lake Region State College. At Lake Region State College, we change lives. We go to the bottom of the third. And Thompson will come to the plate with Drew Odenbach, Johnny Muse, and Jeremy Tice. And they'll go after Parker Anderson, who goes into his third inning of work. 3 walks, a strikeout, gave up 6 runs. Back in the first inning. Kind of eyeballing in. I believe all of those runs are going to end up being unearned. Maybe not. Yeah, they will be. That'll be 6 unearned runs that Thompson scored back in the bottom of the first inning. As Drew Odenbach comes to the plate, Odenbach will take a pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Advim walked. Wolfgram reached on an error. There's out one. Schumacher's single puts him at first and second. Welke rolling into a fielder's choice. That would have been the second out. And a strikeout followed on Drew Odenbach that would have ended the inning without a run scoring. So 6 unearned runs due to the error on Wolfgram's ball. And then, of course, the 2 big doubles that fell in the outfield. 1-1 pitch is high. And the count is 2 balls and a strike on Drew Odenbach. As we mentioned, Odenbach, a strikeout victim. That was back in the first inning. He stands ready. And the 2-1 offering. Swings and fouls one off to the right. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Odenbach. Odenbach will step back in. Anderson taking a look in for the sign. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. Hard shot by Odenbach. Hooking foul down the left field line. Got around on it. Couldn't quite keep that one inside the line. And it's 2-2 and holding on Odenbach. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Odenbach swings and misses. Went fishing on that one. That was a changeup or a curveball low for strike 3. And Odenbach strikes out for the second time tonight. Second strikeout for Parker Anderson. And Johnny Muse will come to the plate. Well, you get the sense as Drew goes over to the dugout, he's looking for something to go his way offensively. He's had a tough time last couple of games. And at some point, that's got to even out. He's a good baseball player and a good hitter. And right now, just having a tough time. Johnny Muse at the plate. First pitch to him, a strike. And the count is 0-1 on Johnny Muse, who walked and scored back in that 6-run first inning for Thompson. Anderson takes a look in. The 0-1 pitch, way upstairs. I think you heard that one thud off the bricks back there. I'm not sure if it hit Matt or hit bricks, but we're going to get a new ball in, I think. Nope. We're going to say off the mat's good enough. Normally, you'd want to get a hold of the ball and at least take a look at it after that, but we're going to trust it here. 1 ball and a strike to Johnny Muse. Anderson looks in. The pitch to Muse is low for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. It's tough in a game like this if you're Thompson to really sort of break out offensively, just from the standpoint that the number of swings probably a little down for you. The 2-1 pitch is high for ball 3. The count goes to 3-1. Parker Anderson has just not had luck finding that release point, hasn't been pounding the zone. You don't really see the same stuff over and over again, so it's tough to find a rhythm up there. 3-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball foul. Muse is out in front of that, and the count's full. So 3-2 the count on Johnny Muse. Coming up in the 4th, we'll start eyeballing in some of what we'll have for scheduling for next week. Payoff pitch called, strike 3. Muse frozen at the belt for strikeout number 3 for Parker Anderson. And 2 are away. I think Muse thought that one was up. And that one found the belt. And Johnny Muse is out number 2. So 2 away, bases empty for Thompson. And that's 6 in a row retired now by Parker Anderson after the tough start to this thing. And the first pitch is up on Jeremy Tice for ball 1. Next game broadcast will be Tuesday, July 8th. And it's the Minot Vistas coming to take on Post 6 in Grand Forks. The 1-0 swing and a miss. That one was upstairs, and Jeremy Tice tried to climb the ladder to it. 1 ball, 1 strike here in the bottom of the 3rd. 6-0 Thompson on the all-true scoreboard. Parker Anderson's retired 6 in a row. Looking to make it 7 for his 2nd straight perfect inning. He'll miss in the dirt on the way in, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Tice. Tice walked and scored as well. Back in the first inning tonight. 2 balls, a strike, the pitch high. And it's now 3-1. So Tice gets ready at the plate. We'll see what he's thinking about here at 3 balls and a strike. Anderson takes a look in. The 3-1 pitch down low for ball 4. Didn't have a whole lot to look at. That one was down almost the entire time. Anderson's 4th walk that he surrendered tonight. And so now with a runner on and 2 outs, Caden Loyland back to the plate. Loyland has a double, pair RBI. He lifted one lazily to left field. Cody Wadeson maybe didn't get the greatest of jumps on it, but had a hard time covering the ground to get there as well. Made a dive at it, came up just short. Loyland took 2 bags as everybody was running with 2 outs. Ends up with a pair of RBIs and a double. Anderson delivers, and it's high for ball 1. Short lead over at first base by Eli Gemmel, the courtesy runner, for Jeremy Tice. It wouldn't appear that he plans on going anywhere here. Anderson will set just below the letters. The 1-0 pitch is high. Oh, he's going somewhere, and I'm not sure why. He was dead meat at the bag. He did not slide. Ends up overrunning second, stepping back on second. Apparently is going to be there safely, and we're going to see a conversation come out onto the diamond. Well, we'll see what we can see here on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. I'm not sure that we'll see a lot, but when a runner doesn't slide, that usually becomes the problem. So he got in safely around the tag, and then it was the battle to get back to the bag by that foot. And apparently that tag did land on top of the foot, so there's a reasonable idea there that he was safe getting back as the tag ended up on top of his foot and his foot was on the bag. That being said, Eli Gemmel's going to hear a whole lot about sliding into second base when he gets into the dugout. I don't think Nate Solis is going to be pleased with the effort to be safe there. The 2-0 pitch on the way, check swing, and the pitch misses away on Caden Loyland. The count will go to 3 balls and no strikes. Well, I mean, I know how Nate Solis is going to react to that. I'm just not going to tell any of you, and I'm just going to keep that one between us. 3 balls, no strikes. A look back. 3-0 pitch. Fastball outside for ball 4, and Caden Loyland works a walk. So we'll see the 5th walk of the game from Parker Anderson. And now, here comes Tyler Ukestead, the head coach of Gardner. And if I follow the lineage correctly here, Tyler Ukestead is a Jamestown guy. Good sports family, good baseball family. Finds himself coaching at Gardner this year. Coach at the high school level as well. So 2 runners on with 2 outs. And Braden Tice will come to the plate for Thompson. It's a 6-0 game in favor of Thompson right now. And with 2 outs, Thompson goes looking for that big 2-out hit to try to claim the momentum back after things have stagnated a bit since the bottom of the 1st. Anderson delivers to Tice. Pitch misses high for ball 1. Gemmel away from second, and Caden Loyland steps away from first base. Anderson takes a look back at both runners. And the 1-0 offering. Called a strike. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll see as Anderson, if he settles in here, takes a little something off the body language if that fastball comes down for him. The 1-1 pitch. Called strike 2 in the inside corner. Showing some signs of beginning to find it here. It's not just enough to throw strikes against this Thompson team. You got to keep them down. Can't leave them up. Schumacher has already hit 2 of those pretty hard tonight. But if you can find that right release point, you've got some momentum to build. The 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging, strike 3. Tice way out in front of something that was maybe a straight change. That was a heck of a pitch from Parker Anderson. His 4th strikeout of the night. Thompson threatens but fails to score in their half of the 3rd inning. They'll come up with no runs, no hits, 2 runners left on base, and we've played 3 full. Your score on the All True scoreboard is Gardner trailing Thompson 6-0. Changeover is brought to you by Big Jim's Tire. your number one supplier of egg tires in the region, and brought to you by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround family-owned promotional shop in Grand Forks. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Sports.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and egg tire supplier, and with Harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Well, it's our middle inning, and our middle inning tonight is brought to you by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. And our middle inning is also brought to you tonight by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. We go to the fourth with Thompson leading by a score of 6-0 over Gardner. Gardner will send Matt Metzger to the plate to lead things off for the Express. In the top half of the fourth inning, Tice delivers and a swing and a foul by Metzger back to the screen. High Plains Water, your source for awesome water. Get the chemicals out of your water. With High Plains Water, get the taste in. Better tasting tap water, cleaner laundry with less detergent, and appliances that last longer. All the advantages with a system from High Plains Water. If you don't like the water in your house, you need to check in with High Plains Water. They are your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. The 1-1 to Metzger misses low and away, and the count is 2 balls and a strike. Metzger 0 for 1, a strikeout victim. Frozen back in the first inning. 1 of 5 strikeouts for Jeremy Tice. So far today, he has not walked a batter. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Took something off that, and well, you're seeing more and more of that from the top-level pitchers now in the prep game. The ability to change speed straight instead of going to a curveball or breaking pitch. The 2-2 offering on the way, swing and a foul. And you would expect that from Thompson just for the fact that they play the game a little bit old school. They like pitching and defense to organize around. They really believe in it. You're going to get the finer points of it. And both pitchers so far tonight have done a really nice job of showing us that they don't have to go to a breaking pitch. They don't have to go to a curveball. They can change speeds straight. And then if you can mix in that breaking pitch, boy, 3 pitches, you can be pretty effective at this level with 3 pitches. The 2-2 on the way to Metzger. Swinging a foul, flared off into the parking lot. And it remains 2-2. 2-2 the count on Metzger. Tice looking for a sign and has one. And the 2-2 again. There's a curveball. Got him swinging strike 3. Metzger's around on strikes. And that will be out number 1 of the fourth inning. Middle inning brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine. They are the Men of Steel, and they're with you throughout the entire harvest season at Grand Forks Welding and Machine or throughout the agricultural year. Break a shaft, twist a shaft. If you need a hole tightened, they've got you covered at Grand Forks Welding and Machine. 1812 Gateway Drive. Make them your partner in ag at Big Jim's Tire. Reston Schultz swings and misses, and it's no balls and a strike. Schultz, a strikeout victim. Back in the second, he'll take a pitch low and away, and the count is a ball and a strike. One of the things that Nate Solis talked about with us in our pregame interview tonight was the vibe that you see between Jeremy Tice and Dex Advem. He says Tice really likes Advem catching him. The 1-1 pitch, called a strike. And to give you an idea of what that statement means, Dex is an 8th grader. So when you're out there as an upperclassman and you're comfortable with an 8th grader catching your game, a swing and a miss and a curveball for strike 3 as Schultz is out in front. Strikeout number 7 now for Jeremy Tice. 2 up, 2 down in the fourth as Sam Clemens will come to the plate. But if you're one of those guys like Jeremy Tice who's put in your time and earned your spot and you're comfortable with an 8th grader catching you, you feel pretty good about that 8th grader in your lineup. And Dex has been impressive this year on the Legion side of things. Sam Clemens steps in, swings and misses, and the count's 0-1. The last 3 have gone down by way of strikeout for Jeremy Tice. Tice picked up 5 strikeouts in a trip through the order from number 4 to number 3. The 0-1 pitch hit foul. Starting with Matt Metzer coming into the plate in the first. That was the number 4 hitter. And back through the number 3 hitter, finishing up the third. 5 strikeouts in that sequence. Couple of base hits. That was an impressive run. The 0-2 pitch misses low. And then the rest of it was Jeremy Tice fielding 2 ground balls. So he accounted for every out in that sequence. That time through the order between number 4 through number 3. The 1-2 to Clement. Hot shot towards left center field. Long run for everybody. And a sliding stab at it by Welke that comes up short. Clement's going to reach. Well, we'll see if that's a hit or an error. Welke had his glove on it. Generous scoring tonight here at the Ball Yard in Thompson. They're going to call that a hit. Welke was sliding, but if you talk to Will Welke when he comes in, there isn't going to be anybody more angry that the ball wasn't caught than Will Welke. He had that right in his glove and just could not quite make the play. So it's a 2-out single for Sam Clement, and Parker Anderson will come to the plate now for Gardner. And the first pitch on the way to him misses away for ball 1. That's a pair of singles now tonight for Clement. 2 for 2. On a night where Tice has struck out 7 through 3 2/3, he's 2 for 2. He's having a night. The 1-0 pitch, check swing. I think he went. They're going to appeal. Not a chance to get the call out there. I think if our umpire is down over at first base, probably going to get that one, but not a lot of help you can offer when you're over in that B position off the mound as the base umpire. So Parker Anderson gets the ball in the count, 2-0, and the 2-0 pitch swung through and missed for a strike, and it's 2 balls and a strike. 6-0 Thompson here in the 4th. Clement away from first for Gardner. A set by Tice, a check over towards first base. They've got him picked. Might have been leaning, might have been going. Drew Odenbach's going to run Clement towards second. Throw will go to Schumacher. Now back to Tice, and Tice will apply the tag, and they'll pick off a runner. So a pickoff, score it on the play. 1-3-6-1, textbook pickoff play. And the side will eventually be out in order. No runs a hit, no one left on. 3.5 in the books in our middle inning, brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine and High Plains Water. It remains Thompson 6, Gardner nothing. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Sports.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, no matter what the size, PS Doors offers the proper service for you. Get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Scoreboard updates tonight are brought to you by Altru. Regular screenings with Altru's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit altru.org or call 780-5000. 6 runs for Thompson in the bottom of the first inning have stood up. And it's 6-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Top of the order due up for Thompson. Dex Advem, the leadoff man, set to lead things away. Followed by Braden Wolfgram and Thomas Schumacher, the top third. It'll be just the 3rd time through the order at this point, but 10. 10 came to the plate back in the first, and since then, Parker Anderson's been okay. He retired 6 in a row at one point, gave up a couple of walks in the last inning, but has not allowed a base hit since the first. And we're playing here into the 4th. Has allowed a couple of hard hit balls. Thomas Schumacher's last of the line drive right at third base. And Dex Advem will come to the plate for the 3rd time tonight. 0 for 1, a ground out to the pitcher. His first time up this evening. Parker Anderson taking a look in for a sign. He's got it, and the pitch on the way to Advent. Breaking pitch drops in for a strike. And it's no balls at a strike on Dex. Lefty at the plate, the 0-1 pitch. That one called low. We were talking about him as an 8th grader, and back in the second trip out here for the Park River matchup, Nate Solis saying, yeah, he might be an 8th grader, but he's been around baseball at a varsity level for a while. The 1-1 pitch in the turf. Count will go to 2-1. Ryan Advem, his dad, has been Nate Solis' assistant coach the entire time that Nate's been at the helm here. And so that means Dex, as a 3rd grader, was getting to see how you approach the game and how you work through the game, even as an elementary school student. Here's a swing and a ground ball to short, and that's off the foot of Jacob Ossie and out into center field. Dex Advem is going to reach. Well, you can be generous on that one all you want to, but I think that one goes up on the board as an error. It'll be the second one charged to Gardner tonight. First charge to Jacob Ossie. But Thompson, as their leadoff man aboard, is Braden Wolfgram, who's reached on an error and scored. Will come to the plate. Wolfgram also popped out to the first baseman in foul territory. And Sam Clemens played a pretty good game tonight for Gardner. We can talk about that. Defensively, offensively, he's made a couple of pretty nice plays over there for the Express. Pitch to Wolfgram is high. A bunt by Advem back in the first inning, and fielded by Parker Anderson. His throw was in the dirt and right between the runner and the bag, and on the foul side of the line is where Clement had to pick that ball, and he did a really nice job of staying with it. 1-0 pitch on the way to Wolfgram. Swings and drives one in the air to center field. Long run in for Matt Metzger. Longer run, he's not going to find it. It falls in front of Metzger for a base hit. Well, it'll be a hit for Wolfgram, but now you got to start asking. A dive that comes up short on maybe a tough break in left. A ball that turns you around on the sun and right. Now Matt Metzger, really, really good baseball player, just doesn't measure that ball very well. The wind is blowing out of the north, and it may be enough when it gets up to knock the ball down to both left and center field, and that's been a bit of an adventure tonight. So 2 on, nobody out. Thomas Schumacher at the plate. 6-0 lead for Thompson. And now post 181 is hunting with the ducks on the pond, as they say. Schumacher swings and lifts one of the air to right center field. Metzger seems to have a bead on this one. They're going to back Advem up to the bag to tag. Actually, it's his runner. And at third base, out is the call at third as Mac Michelson tried sliding into third base, and it will be a double play. So Michelson tried to score after Schumacher flew out to center field, and Michelson will be thrown out. It'll be 8-5 on the play for out number 2, and there are 2 away in the inning. We'll get a look at that here again in the second, as Will Welke will come to the plate for Thompson. But from 2 on, nobody out, to a runner on first with 2 out after a fly ball double play and an attempt to tag by Thompson. The pitch to Welke's high. American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. So you'll see the catch here. Catch is made. And here's the throw to third, and maybe not the greatest of jumps. And, ooh, that's tight at third base. That's a tough call. It's going to be tough to make that call safe because of where the tag ended up. It was a good tag. 1-0 pitch is hit foul, but from the look of the replay, that tag was up on the knee, and the foot may have snuck in towards the bag before that tag got there. So there was a little bit of a look by Michelson as to whether or not that call was going to be something that would go without protest, but no attempt to protest it by Solis, the head coach for Thompson. A curveball drops in over the corner for strike 2 on Welke. If you're the base umpire in that situation, you have a tough situation as well because it's your responsibility to kind of get a look at the tag on the runner at second because you're taking the lead runner, so you have to stand there. 1-2 pitch on the way. Misses inside. The count goes to 2-2. So if you're running away to try to get a better angle at third, you might miss the legal tag at second base. And then if you make the legal tag at second, you're going to be behind that call at third, and it's really tough to see where that foot is when the tag goes down. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Will Welke, trying to continue the inning for Thompson. A lead away from first base by Braden Wolfgram. Parker Anderson looks that way. Long look over there. And the 2-2 pitch. Curveball missed up, and that'll bring it full. And Will Welke had 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's a tough pitch to lay off of with 2 strikes. Welke took a good look at it. And the count is 3-2. A look over towards first. Runner will get a jump here. And here comes the payoff pitch. It's high for ball 4. Be the 6th walk issued for Parker Anderson. Welke on board. Still 2 on. And Drew Odenbach will come to the plate. Been a long baseball game today as well. Got started officially at 4:54, so we're over an hour, 10 minutes into this one and yet to clear the 4th inning. Runners from first and second, Odenbach. And Odie, as they call him, is due. A couple of strikeouts here tonight, looking for a big knock to get some of that confidence back. Anderson checks the runners, pitch to Odie. Swinging a foul. And the count is no balls and a strike on Drew Odenbach. Want to wish everybody the best of what they're going to be doing with their plans for the Independence Day holiday coming up on Friday. One more day to go this week before we get there. Runner from third goes on a bluff go. And now a late move by the runner from first to get the second. Both are going to be safe. So Thompson will take a couple of bags, and I don't know if I can properly tell you what went on that play. Wolfgram from second stopped and then went, and then Welke kind of waited to see if they were going to throw to third to go to second, and still got there. It's a weird set of circumstances. The 1-1 pitch, Odenbach swings and hits one back to the screen. It's a ball and 2 strikes. You might see something like that if you were at first and third, trying to bring that run home on the delayed double steal, but that was, I don't know if Will missed a sign and then, oh boy, I better get going. If it was something like that, I'm not sure. A set, Anderson takes a look, runners now at second and third. It's a perfect stolen base opportunity. 1-2 pitch grounded towards third. Picked up out of the dirt by Arison, long throw across the diamond, but he's got it. He's got Odenbach for the out, and Thompson again threatening, but the big pop out into a double play at third base ends up kind of killing the rally, and Thompson goes away without a run, and they're half of the 4th inning. It'll be no runs on a hit. There was an error, and 2 runners will be left on base, and we have now played 4 full. Your score on the All True scoreboard remains Thompson 6 and Gardner nothing. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Sports.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. They have pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm, too. Go to sprayadvantage.com.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
As guys, we all love our trucks. That's why Toys for Trucks is your headquarters for all things truck. They carry an amazing selection of rims and tires, plus floor mats, tonneau covers, hitches, plows, and even Excalibur remote car starters for any car, truck, or SUV. And the best part? They can install everything for your truck right at their location. Stop out at Toys for Trucks in Grand Forks to customize your ride, or check them out at toysfortrucks.com.
We go to the top of the 5th. On the All True scoreboard, it remains Thompson 6 and Gardner nothing. Gardner will bring Parker Anderson, the bottom third, to the plate for Gardner to lead off this top of the 5th inning. Jeremy Tice goes into his 5th inning of work, and Anderson bunts one foul. Count will go to a ball and no strikes on Parker Anderson, who struck out back in the 2nd inning. 7 strikeouts for Jeremy Tice tonight. Has not given up a walk as of yet. A hit in each inning. 6 runs on 4 hits for Thompson. No runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for Gardner thus far. And a fastball catches the outside corner for strike 2. It's no balls at 2 strikes on Parker Anderson. Those 2 huge fly balls that turned into doubles for Thompson the first, they're the difference makers right now, as there's a swing and a capper foul off of Parker Anderson's bat. You know, you go back to that play the last half inning with the runner tagging at third and the play being super tight. umpire having to make the call from behind the play. You know, there's something to talk about in that aspect of the game that's worth mentioning. The 0-2 is a curveball. Froze him, strike 3, and Anderson is down on strikes for strikeout number 8 tonight for Jeremy Tice. 1 out. And we'll see Noah Olsheiser coming to the plate. Yeah, I've always kind of wondered, you know, in basketball nowadays in North Dakota, it's like a bad night if you don't have 3 officials. As a swing and a line drive that will drop in left field off the bat for Noah Olsheiser. And Olsheiser will have himself a single, the 5th hit of the game for Gardner. And Cody Wadeson will come to the plate. But getting back to it, if you're playing high school basketball, you absolutely have to have 3 officials or you haven't done your job. And that play at third that we had in the last half inning is textbook on how if you have 3 umpires on a baseball field, you're going to be right in front of that play where you need to be and see it the entire way. Instead, we still limit varsity-level games in baseball to 2 umpires. As Wadeson bunts foul, the count will go to no balls and a strike. And I just haven't understood it. You know, you've got a basketball floor that only 5 guys on the floor per team. You've got a limited amount of space to cover. What is a basketball floor? Is it 84 or 94 feet long, depending upon high school or college level of basketball? And according to the high school level in North Dakota, you absolutely, positively need to have 3 officials to cover that space and those players. And then you take a look at the dimensions of a baseball field and where everybody can be and where the plays are, and no, 2 will get it done. I just don't understand it. The 0-2, a curveball that's hit on the ground towards third, picked up at third base by Wolfgram. He'll throw to second and Braden Tice to force an out, and Wolfgram picked that up right over the bag. That's a tough play for Braden Wolfgram at third to stay with that, pick it up over the bag, and make a strong throw to second. That will force Noah Olsheiser 5-4 in the out for out number 2. Wadeson will reach on a fielder's choice. And so with 2 outs, it's Matt Shotsky that will come to the plate for Gardner. And Shotsky will swing and foul one back. But yeah, I've never understood the concept. You know, it's in football, you want more officials, and we added officials, and in basketball, you want more officials, and we added them, and then in baseball, we've been at 2 umpires at the varsity level forever. The 0-1, runner goes, pitch is swung on, hit foul. That one will drift out of play. The count, no balls and 2 strikes. Somebody please let Matt Shotsky know that that was right at my vehicle out there, and I would appreciate it if he hit that fair. Actually twisted away, it was all right. A set by Tice, and the 0-2 pitch. Missed high, and the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. Shotsky 1 for 2 with a single back in the first inning. Hopped out towards the pitcher, Jeremy Tice, back in the third. Tice sets. Runner goes again, the 1-2. Going to be called strike 3, no need to make a play. Shotsky is rung up at the plate for strikeout number 9 for Jeremy Tice tonight. And the single ends up not affecting Thompson, as Northern Cass will go without a run in their half of the 5th inning. No runs on a hit, they'll leave 1, and we have played 4.5. Your score on the All True scoreboard here in Thompson remains Thompson 6 and Gardner nothing. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Sports.
Add a pop of color and excitement to your next celebration with Balloons by Misty. Their one-of-a-kind balloon design skills and creativity will make your event unforgettable. It's always a party at Balloons by Misty. Visit balloonsbymisty.com today.
Residents of the Midwest are known for being self-starters and getting the job done. But when it comes to electrical work, it's best to call a professional. Hi, this is Steve from Bergstrom Electric. It's true that there's a certain glory to accomplishing a task on your own, but it's our experience that not only will save you time, but also the headaches that go along with home improvement projects. A simple phone call to Bergstrom Electric can make all the difference. At Bergstrom Electric, the light does shine brighter.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
Our changeovers tonight are brought to you by Apex Apparel. They're your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned promotional shop in Grand Forks. Apex Apparel can turn around projects for you quickly and get them done on time, on budget at Apex Apparel. And Big Jim's Tire, your number one supplier of ag tires in the region. They want no downtime for you at Big Jim's Tire. So they'll bring those tires to you. They'll keep you rolling at Big Jim's Tire, your number one supplier of ag tires in the region. Johnny Muse to the plate to lead off the fifth for Thompson. Muse with a walk and a run scored, a strikeout tonight. He is 0 for 1 this evening, and he's going to go up against Parker Anderson, who labors into his fifth inning of work. It's been a long night for Parker Anderson thus far. 6 walks, but 5 strikeouts to go with it, and he'll deliver high for ball 1 on Johnny Muse. Anderson taking a look in and will deliver 1-0. Swinging a foul ball off of Carter Wadeson's glove behind the plate. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. It's interesting where Gardner is going to pick up players from. You heard from Nate Solis in our pregame report that in this part of the district, you don't have a ton of difference as far as towns of where players are coming from. The 1-1 pitch, curveball for a strike, and the count's a ball and 2 strikes. He said except for Gardner. Mayport, Hillsborough, Central Valley, Hatton, Northwood, Thompson, they're going to be largely what they were in the high school season with their own super seniors that come back to play. The 1-2 pitch, got him swinging, strike 3. Muse is out in front of a curveball and is out number 1 here in the fifth for Thompson. That'll be strikeout number 6 for Parker Anderson tonight. But with Gardner, a little bit different. And, they come from that northern Cass area, but they lose some players to West Fargo. They're going to pick up a few from some other places around the area, depending upon where guys are playing, who has teams and who doesn't. And it's a little bit more diverse when it comes down to where players are going to end up down in that part of the district. Oak Grove or Harwood not really having a team, that might affect that to a certain extent. Ball and no strikes on Jeremy Tice. The 1-0 pitch is high. Just looking through their lineup, there's a couple of Wadesons that are in here, and those names normally jump off the page as Enderlin or even Maple Valley names. And they're playing with Gardner at this point, not saying that they're not from the Gardner area. There's a lot of connections there. 2-0 pitch is grounded to short. 2-hopper picked up by Osi. He'll throw across the diamond for the out. And Tice is out number 2 here in the fifth for Thompson. Caden Loyland to the plate for Thompson. Gardner has out-hit Thompson tonight. 5 hits for Gardner and 4 so far for Thompson. The 2 big blows were the balls that fell in the outfield in the first inning. And a pitch will be taken outside for ball 1 for Caden Loyland. Loyland had one of those, a double. A little Dyer in left field. Dive attempt by Cody Wadeson to try to get to it. Couldn't find it. 2 outs in the inning with multiple runners on. 2 runs scored. Took a 2-0 game, turned it into a 4-0 game, and Loyland is out in front of a curveball. And the count is a ball and a strike. Loyland also walked. He's 1 for 1 tonight. Drove in a pair and has scored. Pretty effective night at the plate for Loyland. The 1-1 called the strike on the outside corner. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. But only 4 hits tonight so far for Thompson, and kind of a repetitive pattern. Thompson's going to have to try to jumpstart the offense here a little bit. Curveball high, and the count will go to 2-2. And seen different lineups from different places. Not a lot of change in the lineup for Nate Solis, but the leadoff hitter changes. Brody Gibson, when he's in the lineup, turns things around, gives Thompson some extra options. The 2-2 on the way. Loyland's out in front of a breaking pitch. Misses. The ball was not caught. Loyland trying to beat it out, and he's going to do so at the first base line. So Loyland's going to reach on a wild pitch. He will be a strikeout victim. That'll be the 7th strikeout victim for Parker Anderson tonight, but Loyland's aboard by way of a wild pitch. And with a 2-out base runner, Braden Tice will come to the plate for Thompson. Loyland a decent lead over at first base. A look that way by Anderson in the pitch. called a strike right around the letters. I think Braden Tice might have thought that was a bit elevated. Count, no balls and a strike. Under normal circumstances, you might think of this as a running situation, but it wouldn't have that appearance right now for Thompson, the fifth. The 0-1 pitch, curveball, strike two. If you were going to see it, it would be here, but if you were able to run yourself into an out, start off in your number 9 spot in the order, if you feel comfortable about that, you might take a stab at it. We'll see. A set. Anderson checks the runner at first base. Runner goes on 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him swinging. They did try to get the offense started, but Braden Tice goes after a pitch a bit down. It's strikeout number 8 for Parker Anderson in the end. The base runner doesn't hurt. Thompson goes away without a run, and they're half of the 5th inning. No runs on no hits, no errors. There was one runner left on base. We played 5. And your score after 5 innings of play on the All True scoreboard remains Thompson 6 and Gardner nothing. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Sports.
Since 1972, Jarrell's Sports Center and Hockey World has provided year-round sporting goods, apparel, and of course, hockey equipment and training tools. You'll also find they have a state-of-the-art skate sharpening machine to give you the edge you need. For anything sports, stop into Jarrell's and Hockey World.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Your local Circle K and Holiday Station stores are proud to support high school activities. Stop by the new Circle K location at 1316 South Washington Street for not only gas, but a wide array of hot and cold food, snacks for everyone, and a car wash. Open 24/7, 7 days a week.
Welcome back to our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. We make our way to the top of the 6th inning. And right now, Thompson will be making a change in their pitcher's position. Jeremy Tice goes 5 innings tonight. And as we had heard in a pregame report, Thomas Schumacher looking for some innings tonight. So Schumacher is going to come in to pitch for Thompson. So we'll see a pitching change. And Schumacher, one of the mainstays in the Thompson lineup. We'll see how this turns around the defense a little bit. Try to track in some of those changes for you as we have them here. I'm going to guess that we're going to see a Braden Wolfgram to short. Braden Tice looks like he's moving over towards third. And we'll see if Thompson's made a change at second base as well. Looks like they have. They've entered a new player in at second base tonight, and that's going to be Eli Gemmel. So Gemmel will play at second, and that means that Jeremy Tice either going to the outfield or coming out of the game. Here's a swing and a fly ball to center, and first out recorded as that ball is caught in center field. I want to see who it was. Was that still Johnny Muse that was out there in center field? And I believe it was. Nope, that's Jeremy Tice that's out there. So Tice is now out in center field, and he records the first out as Jacob Ossie will fly out to center for out number 1. So we're still penciling in the changes. I got to think that perhaps it's Caden Loyland that came out of the game. I think I see Welke out in right field now, so those should be the changes. It'll be Tice to center, and Muse to left, and Welke to right in the outfield. Swing and a miss by Carter Wadeson. Wolfgram to third, Schumacher to pitch, Gemmel to second base. Rather, Wolfgram to short, Schumacher to pitch, Gemmel to second base, and Braden Tice to third. Did you follow all that, folks? 1 ball, 2 strikes. That is one of the most extensive changes defensively that you can see in baseball. 1-2 pitches high from Schumacher. The count 2-2. Let's see here. They change all 3 outfielders, 3 infielders, and a pitcher. The only men that stayed at their positions were catcher Dex Advem and first baseman Drew Odenbach. Everybody else moved around. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Wadeson. And the payoff pitch to him. Swinging a foul back to the screen. Carter Wadeson reached on a fielder's choice, struck out tonight. He's 0 for 2. start putting in the last names on these guys. We'll go with that, I suppose. The 3-2 pitch swung on and grounded towards third. That's picked up by Braden Tice on 2 hops. He'll throw across the diamond for the out, and Wadeson is out 5-3 for out number 2. Well, if you're Gardner, you've tested center, you've tested third. It looks like no defensive breakdowns with all the movement that's gone on there. And with 2 outs and nobody on, Matt Metzger. Pair of strikeouts tonight from Metzger in the first and fourth. Jeremy Tice goes 5 innings. No runs, 5 hits, struck out 9, didn't walk anybody. That's a big factor in the game. And leaves as the pitcher of record right now as Tom Schumacher comes in to try to finish things up. The 1-0 swing and a miss, and the count's a ball and a strike on Matt Metzger. We heard from Nate Solis in our pregame report that Jeremy Tice was right there in the high school season as well. Swinging a flare foul right side, twisting, and that will just get out of play. Count a ball and 2 strikes on Metzger. So you start thinking about it if you're Thompson. Wolfgram, Tice, Schumacher, 3 good arms there. You want one more. Drew Odenbach can do some pitching. The 1-2, curveball grounded towards short. The ultimate test, little gator gobble by Wolfgram across the diamond in time. The revamped Thompson defense, strong enough to get out of it with just a bobbled baseball there at the very end, as we'll see the Express go nothing across in their half of the 6th. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still Thompson 6 and Gardner nothing. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sale Sports Network and KNOX Sports.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
You've been waiting for a chance to do something that matters, something big without a big price tag. Welcome to Northland Community and Technical College. Here you can have a big impact on a small campus, in classrooms that mirror today's workplace, with instructors who teach from experience and know you by name. You've been waiting for a place like this. Are you ready?
Well, just because I'm kind of obsessive compulsive about it, I got to complete all those changes for Thompson. So here were the changes for Thompson. Let's see, where the heck was it? I don't think we had all the changes. No, we didn't. Yeah, Eli Gemmel entered the game, so that's where we're at. So is Eli Gemmel entering the game for Caden Loyland? That was the change for Thompson, the top of the 6th. So Eli Gemmel entered the game for Caden Loyland at second base. That pushed Braden Tice to third. That pushed Braden Wolfgram to short. That pushed Tom Schumacher to pitch. That pushed Jeremy Tice to center. That pushed Johnny Muse to left. That pushed Will Welke to right. There were the changes. 1 new guy comes into the game for 1 existing guy. 7 positions change for Thompson. That's Class B American Legion Baseball, folks. That's how it goes. I like it. It's a huge math problem, too. I mean, if you're head coach Nate Solis, how do you think that up? Like, okay, we make this change. Here's where we put everybody. That's you got to have a plan, right? Thompson will come to the plate with leadoff man Dex Advem to start the bottom of the 6th. Last chance for Thompson to tack on before they pitch for the win in the 7th. Advem is 0 for 2 tonight. Walked and scored, reached on an error. And Parker Anderson delivers for a ball. It's a ball and no strikes. And now the 1-0 pitch. That one in the turf, and the count will go to 2 balls and no strikes on Dex Advem. 6 runs for Thompson, the top of the 1st inning, and really that doesn't tell a fair story. It really just doesn't. 2 balls that fell with multiple runners on, 1 in front of a left fielder that dove at it, 1 to the right of the right fielder when the ball was lost in the sun. That accounted for 4 runs. This really ought to be a 2-0 ball game, and then all 6 runs that Thompson scored in the 1st inning were unearned. We have not had an earned run score tonight. Pitch misses high, and it's 3-0 on Dex Advem. And I kind of feel like if you're the Thompson post-181 team, you still come out of here feeling like maybe you didn't play all that well at the plate tonight. 3-0 pitch for a strike. The count 3-1. Only 4 hits tonight for Thompson through 5 innings of work. And that's been the part of the game they've been waiting for. But I'll tell you what, you can win a lot of games. 3-1 pitch is driven out towards left center field. Long run to get there for Cody Wadeson, but he's got it. And Advem will fly out for out number 1. You can win a lot of games with pitching and defense. You just can. You're able to put some pressure on. You make some things happen at the right time. And they believe in that in Thompson. And there's a good reason for them to believe in it. They've won multiple championships that way. But when you're in the moment of the game, you know what's staring you in the face. And that moment right now is trying to find a way to come up with a crisp base hit. Tom Schumacher had one of those back in the first inning. Check swing foul by Braden Wolfgram, and the count is no balls and a strike. So 0-1 on Braden Wolfgram. A single, reached in on error and scored. 1 for 3 tonight. He scored a run. And he stands ready as the 0-1 comes into it. Pitch misses low for a ball. Parker Anderson hasn't pitched badly tonight. 8 strikeouts, 6 walks. But 3 walks in the first inning, all of them scored. That's a big part of the difference tonight. 1-1 pitch. Called the strike on the outside corner. And it's 1-2 on Braden Wolfgram. Anderson takes a look in. The 1-2 pitch. Hard shot to center field, but right at Matt Metzger. And Metzger has it for out number 2. Well, there's one when you go back through it, you're like, okay, hit the ball well. Right at a center fielder, but there's a good swing on a baseball. Out number 2 recorded here in the 6th, and Tom Schumacher to the plate. Thompson trying to go to 4-0 inside league play. Sweep the circuit on the first trip through. And the pitch on the way is high for ball 1. It's just a 5-team district this year, so no no Oak Grove team. So you've got Gardner, Thompson, Haddon Northwood, Hillsborough Central Valley, Mayport CG. That's where it's capped. They've got 5 to the north as well. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Curveball misses high. Larimore goes back and forth between the sections. They're up now with Midway Minto, Grafton, Park River, and Langdon. These 2 sections really have very good Legion baseball at the Class B level. 2-0 pitch called a strike. Count 2 balls and a strike. There are some other places that send you really good Legion baseball teams, but they just don't have the depth up and down in the section that these 2 sections in Northeast North Dakota have. That's something that stands out. The 2-1 to Schumacher. Ground ball, left side, diving stab by Jacob Ossie. From his keister, he throws out Thomas Schumacher for the final out of the inning. Wow, that's a heck of a play. Diving stab by Jacob Ossie at short to cut that one off. Let's take a look at it again in the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. This is a well-hit ball off the bat of Schumacher. Crisp ground ball, diving stab made there by Ossie. He was on a knee when he threw over and had time to get Tom Schumacher, and that's a heck of a play, or rather, yes, Tom Schumacher for the out. And Thompson goes away in order, nothing across, and they're half of the 6th. They pitch for the victory next. Your score after 6 complete. Thompson 6, Gardner nothing. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Sports.
Need seed, think Proseed. Proseed.net.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersales.com.
Well, Thompson will pitch for the victory, trying to make their way to an undefeated mark the first time through the section schedule, as they will face Reston Schultz to lead things off. Top of the 7th on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. Ryan Cunningham, Joey Springer with our videography work tonight. And I'll tell you what, after you saw that last play at shortstop by the shortstop Jacob Osee for Northern, I should say rather for Gardner, well, Joey's grown into this role. We get him for a couple of years, then we lose him to some college out there, and I know where he's going because I've already made that determination. Because I get to choose where Joey Springer goes to college. He does not. Reston Schultz takes a strike. Junior this year, right, Joey?
No, senior.
Senior, okay, we got him for one more year. Okay. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Count goes to 0-2. So we get him for one more year, and then he'll be a Valley City State University Viking. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Curveball swung on and missed, and Schultz is down on strikes for strikeout number 1 for Tom Schumacher tonight. Unless he decides to stay home and go to UND. If he decides that, we get him back here then for 4 more years, maybe 5. He'll play some video games, 5.5. Won't get out of there right on time. This is looking good. I really like where we're at with this thing. Sam Clemens steps in, takes one low for ball 1. Clemens with 2 singles tonight. He was picked off at first base, but Clemens has a really solid night tonight for Northern Cass. He's played a great game. The 1-0 from Schumacher, pitch called a strike. 2 singles, a good pick on a throw at first base. He made a tough play on a foul fly ball over towards the dugout or the wall. He'll take a pitch low for ball 2 from Schumacher. And it's 2 balls and a strike. So Sam Clemens has played a really complete game for Gardner tonight. Really like the effort. The 2-1 pitch, down for ball 3. 3-1 the count. We'll see how Tom Schumacher goes about this 3-1 pitch. Went fastball, swing and a miss by Clemens. And the count will go full at 3-2. So a payoff coming up here for Schumacher. Takes a look in, 3-2 pitch. Breaking pitch, got him swinging. That's a nice breaking pitch from Schumacher. Nice tight breaking ball, 12-6 drop on it. Comes down, swing and a miss by Clemens for strike 3. And Schumacher a pair of strikeouts. That's 11 strikeouts that have been recorded tonight by Post 181. 9 by Schumacher's predecessor, Jeremy Tice. Through 5 innings of work tonight. 2 outs. And it's up to Parker Anderson to try to extend. He grounds one down the first base line, to be fair, and roll its way towards the turtle. Anderson's going to take a turn, but he'll hold up there. Will Welke out in right field, if you caught that. Welke took something off his approach to that ball and had his head up the entire time. He was trying to bait Parker Anderson into taking an extra bag. You know, that ball was hit inside of the first baseman towards the bag, and you're thinking 2 when it rolls through there automatically. And Will has got decent speed. He can get to a ball, and he had his head up the entire time. And that's a savvy right fielder saying, okay, take one more. I've got you. But Parker Anderson thought better of it. And so a 2-out base runner as Noah Olheiser will step in. And Northern Cass is going to go to their bench for a runner. This is Kaysen Millis that will step in to run at first base for, I should say rather for Gardner. And he's running. And the pitch is swung on and hit in the air to left field. After it, Johnny Muse backing up. Muse has got it. And Thompson is in the book with another district win. They'll go to 4-0 on the night as the base hit will go for naught for Northern, or I should say rather for Gardner, in their half of the 7th. No runs on a hit, 1 left. Your final score this evening will be Thompson 6 and Gardner nothing. We'll go to our post-game totals coming up here in just a bit. Let's take you through our post-game highlights. Our plays of the night. Our plays of the night are brought to you this evening by Proceed. Need seed? Think Proceed. Proceed.net. Get started with Tom Schumacher at the plate back in the first inning. Runner on for Schumacher, and Tom Schumacher laces a solid shot into the right field gap. That would bring around a run, make it 1-0 in favor of Thompson. And then a couple of bad breaks for Northern, I should say for Gardner, with multiple runners on. A lofty fly ball to left field for Caden Loyland with multiple runners on and 2 out. Diving stab comes up empty. Everybody's running all the way. Couple of runs come in at that point, make it 4-0. Basically an instant replay with runners on again at second and third. Still in the first inning. This time that would get down the lineup a little bit to Braden Tice. He'd send one out to right field, and this just turned Olheiser around. He couldn't find it. Ball gets knocked down by the wind. 2 more runs would score at that point. But I'll tell you what, Gardner would give us the defensive gem of the night. This was a screamer towards shortstop. Diving play by Jacob Ossie, and from an E, he comes up throwing out Tom Schumacher. And those are our plays of the game tonight. Brought to you by Proceed. Need seed? Think Proceed. Proceed.net. Thompson wins it by a score of 6-0. Your post-game totals and a wrap-up brought to you by Spray Advantage and Lake Region State College are on the way next. Right here on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports will come back with more in just a couple of moments, so do stay with us.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Plus, they also carry a full line of ice melter products for your home or business. To check out all their products, go to rivards.com.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersSales.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. They have pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. Go to SprayAdvantage.com.
Picture yourself at Lake Region State College. With faculty and staff here to help you succeed, we know you by name. Picture your success as you get hands-on ready for the workforce or transfer on to earn your bachelor's degree. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always...
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com. Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
We welcome you to our post-game report this evening on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. Your final score this evening from Thompson will be Thompson 6 and Gardner nothing. The win is going to push Thompson to 4-0 inside district play, and the loss tonight for Gardner will drop them to 1-6 inside the district this evening. But the final score doesn't tell the story in this one. Gardner out-hits Thompson tonight. 6 hits in the game for Gardner, only 4 for Thompson, but just a couple of bad defensive breaks for Gardner back in the bottom of the first inning that did this one in tonight. Again, our post-game report brought to you by Spray Advantage and Lake Region State College. Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying and application on your farm. Tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain carts, and seed tenders. 2 locations to serve you in Grand Forks and St. Thomas. Spray Advantage, make them a part of your agricultural game plan now and for years to come. And our post-game report also brought to you this evening on KNOX Live Sports by Lake Region State College. At Lake Region State College, we change lives. Precision agriculture, law enforcement, nursing, just a couple of the careers that you can supercharge your way into at Lake Region State College. Get done in 2 and start earning, or take those credits with you to any four-year institution in North Dakota and continue your educational journey. Lake Region State College campuses in Devils Lake, their main campus, on the Grand Forks Air Force Base, and of course online at lrsc.edu. Well, the 2 big breaks, there was not an earned run scored in this game tonight between Thompson and Gardner. And that's the unfortunate part for Gardner. The fortunate part for Thompson is that if you do things right and put on pressure, sometimes you get a couple of breaks to go your way. And that's exactly what happened for Thompson tonight on a couple of balls. Really the differences in the game, although you can say Thompson pitched a shutout. Tom Schumacher drove in a run tonight. So that was essentially the game-winning run, and that was produced by a Dex Advem walk. Tom Schumacher singling, but an error that allowed Braden Wolfgram to reach is what put Advem's runner, Max Michelson, in scoring position. But Tom Schumacher drove in a run in the first inning to get the scoring started. But really, what ended up happening in that inning was just a tough break for Thompson, or rather for the Gardner team. I want to keep calling them Northern Cast. My apologies for that. For those of you that are down there, I don't, it's just a force of habit, obviously. But Thompson leading 2-0, and runners on at multiple positions. Will Welke ends up scoring on a wild pitch at one point that made it 3-0. So the first of these only drove in a run at that point, and it was Caden Loyland who comes up with the first ball. That was just a tough break here for Gardner tonight. This lofty fly ball to center field, that a good effort by Cody Wadeson out left. He just couldn't track it down, but that allowed a run to come across and score. And then the second one was basically an instant replay that drove in 2. This was Braden Tice in the bottom of the order for Thompson. Lifts one out towards right field, and in the sun early in the game, turns around the defender, ball drops in front. 2 runs are going to score with runners running the entire way, and those were the big blows that caused Gardner to kind of fall behind on the scoreboard. And then from there, really nice pitching night tonight for Jeremy Tice, and Thomas Schumacher coming in and mopping things up to get the victory tonight. Post-game totals, Thompson 6 runs on 4 hits. They don't commit an error, they leave 6. And the win will go to Jeremy Tice tonight. 5 innings of work. He gives up no runs on 5 hits, struck out 9, did not walk a batter, picked one off in fact, but did not walk a single batter tonight, and ends up getting 9 strikeouts in the win. Tom Schumacher pitches 2 innings tonight, gives up no runs on a hit, struck out 2 to get an appearance in tonight's matchup. Not a save situation for Schumacher, but a solid appearance through 2 innings as well. And for Gardner, no runs on 6 hits. They commit 2 errors and leave 5. And the loss tonight will be taken by Parker Anderson, who goes the distance, 7 innings of work. He'll give up 6 runs, none of which were earned, on just 4 hits. He struck out 8 and walked 6 this evening. Now, to say that Parker Anderson gave up no earned runs doesn't make him the true victim here. Did have those 6 walks tonight and walked 3 in the first inning, and that obviously did some damage as well tonight. But in the end, just a tough night in the outfield with some wind blowing in and some tough stuff to see out there, and that ends up being the difference as Thompson uses it to score 6 runs in that first inning. Post-game totals again: 6 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 6 left for Thompson. No runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, 5 left for Gardner. Your final score tonight: Thompson 6, Gardner nothing. Game played in 1 hour and 45 minutes. Began at 4:54, ended at 6:39 Central Daylight Time here in Thompson, North Dakota. Again, our post-game report tonight brought to you by Spray Advantage. Everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. And Lake Region State College. At Lake Region State College, we change lives. We will move on to next week. On Tuesday, after the 4th of July holiday, it'll be Grand Forks Post 6 back at home to take on the Minot Vistas. We'll have that for you coming up on Tuesday night from Kraft Memorial Field. Join us for that here on KNOX Live Sports coming up on Tuesday night. Want to thank all of you for joining us here this evening for our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX.